So we are going to sing a song, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, of course, which will be projected here. The meaning of the song is, O Krishna, my mind is like a bumblebee, and this bumblebee of my mind wants to drink the nectar from your lotus feet, which basically means fix my mind in meditation on your lotus feet so that I can relish sweetness of your wonderful form, qualities, etc. Although Brahma in full samadhi cannot catch a glimpse of even a ray of effulgence from the tips of your toenails, still, O Achyuta, having heard of the waves of your astonishing mercy, I long to receive your grace. O Madhava, although I don't possess even a sesame seed of bhakti for you, still by your inconceivable power, which makes the impossible possible, please fulfill the desires of my heart. Hey Sanatan, because your lotus feet are filled with such wonderful rasa, let the bee of my mind always reside unwaveringly in that nectar which puts everything else to shame, for they are the essence of all sweetness. This is my only prayer. O Lord Shri Krishna, I am offering a prayer unto you. Please let the bee of my mind be offered the nectarian honey of your lotus feet. So you may look at my hand when I indicate you to sing, because it's sometimes short and sometimes long pattern of singing. You will get it. Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Mama Manasa Madhukara Marpayani Japada Pankaja Makarande Mama Manasa Madhukara Arpayani Japada Pankaja Makarande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande, Krishna Deva Yadyapi Samadhishu Vidhirapi Pashyati Natava Nakhagramaricim Yadyapi Samadhishu Vidhirapi Pashyati Natava Idamichhami nishamyatavachyuta Tadapi krupadbhuta vechim Mama manasa madhukaram arpayani japada Pankaja Makarande Mama Manasa Madhu. Please sing. Pankaja Makarande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Vande Krishna Deva Bhavantam Bhakti Rudanchati Yadyapi Madhava नत्वायि मम तिलमात्रे भक्तिरुदञ्चति यद्यपि नत्वायि मम तिलमात्रे परमेश्वरता तदपि तवाधिक दुर्घट घटन विधात्रे परमेश्वरता तदपि तवाधिक दुर्घट घटन विधात्रे मम मानसमधुकरमर्पयामि निजपद पंकजमकरन्दे मम मानसमधुकर अर्पयामि निज पंकजमकरन् कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तम् अयमविलोलतो याद्य सनातन कलिताद्भुतरसभारम् निवसो नित्यमिहामृतनिन्दति विन्दन् मधुरिमासारम् निवसो मम मानसमधुकरमर्पयामि निजपद पंकजमकरन्दे मन मानसमधुकर अर्पयामि निजपद पंकजमकरन् कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव मन मानसमधुकरमर्पयामि निजपद पंकजमकरन्दे मन मानसमधुकर अर्पयामि निजपद पंकजमकरन् कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तं वन्दे कृष्णदेव भवन्तम् जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारे जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी राधा माधव जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय। समवेत भक्त वृंद की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे। Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Yoginamapi sarvesham madgatenantaratmana Shraddhavan bhajate yo mam Same yuktatamo mataha. Translation. And of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service unto me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Om Ajnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmeditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Maiham Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we welcome everyone for studying Bhagavad Gita together. Today we have chosen the topic, the Yoga Ladder in Bhagavad Gita. Before I begin, I seek all of your sincere blessings, especially this particular study of Bhagavad Gita that all of you are doing for such a long time, especially under the able tutelage of His Grace Vaisheshika Prabhu. I was thinking what to speak that doesn't spoil the good work Prabhuji has done, but rather kind of just gives an overview of what he has been discussing when he takes these Bhagavad Gita classes. And that's how this topic came to my mind, the Yoga Ladder. Yoga Ladder is nothing but hierarchical arrangement of levels of consciousness that all living beings have and corresponding thinking, feeling and behavior they exhibit in their life. I repeat. Yoga Ladder is nothing but hierarchical arrangement of levels of consciousness that all living beings have and corresponding thinking, feeling and behaviors they exhibit based on that level of consciousness. How nice it would be if we learned psychology of all living beings very nicely. Then we can appropriately deal with them. How nice it would be if we also get to know what is my current state of mind, my psychology. Where is my thought flowing? What are my current feelings? What am I headed for in my action? It would be actually a great asset to just figure out the current state of affairs with our own mind and the minds of others or the consciousness of others. And therefore, this topic is very important. In Bhagavad Gita, in the beginning, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th chapters, the emphasis is on Karma Yoga. 6th chapter, the emphasis is on Dhyana Yoga, the process of meditation that links us with the Supreme. Then middle 6 chapters, 7 through 12, the emphasis is on Bhakti Yoga, the yoga of love, devotional service to the Lord and to all living beings. It's not that only Krishna is demanding us, that you perform devotional service unto me. In fact, Krishna says, Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva. You note that word, bhajami aham. Here he is demanding, yoginam api sarvesham madgatena antaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam same yuktatamo mataha. So if you perform devotional service of me, I also perform devotional service to you. Yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajami aham. Sometimes people tend to think God is very autocratic tyrant. He has made himself a situation where, he's to be served by all and he has nobody to, That's not true. In fact, this beautiful literature, Bhagavad Gita, Song of God, sung on a battlefield. What a culture. In warfield, two warriors meet with each other and they sing poetry. Philosophical treatise about life and its contribution. Have you ever heard of any culture like that? So Krishna is speaking spontaneously these words, and they are so full of meaning. And a war is about to begin after all this. What an interesting setting to have. So, Krishna is very reciprocal. And therefore, we have a great chance of making this very lifetime our chance for perfection. However, we need to learn how to take charge of our consciousness and put it to good use. Our consciousness is our operating system, OS. Currently, our OS is corrupt. It has got all kinds of viruses, lust, anger, greed, envy. And on top of that, every morning we wake up. The effect of this corrupt consciousness is, any object, person, situation you look at, how can I enjoy? How can I enjoy? That's what the thought process is. So when we become practitioners of Bhagavad Gita, chant Hare Krishna, become devotees of Krishna, what consciousness transformation we undergo? We can call it as OS reconfiguration. You have to plug in through ears to the transcendental sound of the Acharyas or Krishna coming in parampara, and your OS is reconfigured. You have seen those softwares that reconfigure your computers? They tell you, don't interrupt now. I have begun my work. Don't plug out in between. Be wrapped in your attention and respect to this message. It will purify your consciousness very quickly. So when the OS undergoes reconfiguration and we wake up in the morning, what is our approach? Every object, person, situation we will see, we will ask the question, how can I serve? How can I utilize this in service of God and humanity? This is called system reconfiguration program, Krishna consciousness. In our India, they say, yahi hai right choice, baby. That's the right one thing to do in life. So, from enjoying mentality, exploitative consciousness, to service mentality, giving consciousness, is what essentially Krishna consciousness does to us. But this great science has to be learnt, and we should not be lazy in the matter of learning Siddhanta. Siddhanta means proper philosophical conclusions. Siddhanta boliya chitte na karah alas, iha hoite Krishne lage sudrudha manas. Don't be lazy in the matter of discussing Siddhanta, because through this kind of discussion, your mind will become fixed on Krishna. Mama manasa madhukaram arpaya nijapada pankaja makarande. May my mind become absorbed in Krishna. So with this in the background, let's begin our discussion. What is yoga ladder? As I said, it is the arrangement of levels of consciousness. At the bottommost rung of this ladder is animal life. Can animals become Krishna conscious? Yes. We have Gajendra, Hanuman, so many examples, Garuda. So, Krishna consciousness is not barred for anyone. However, in our current context of Kali Yuga and our setting of American society that we are part of, usually animals, people who have animalistic consciousness, we are not meaning here animals only as those who look like animals. Those who internally, consciousness is at the level of animals. Only eating, sleeping, mating, defending. That is being made the goal of life. Such people. What is the mentality that they possess? They have neither knowledge of scriptures, nor do they follow scriptures. They act according to instincts. And their favorite activities are elaborate arrangements for eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Human beings are funny that nowadays there is not much defense in our life because things are quite, onslaughts of nature are kind of taken care of. So people play video games and practice mental defense. There is nothing much to defend in life, so you defend against an imaginary enemy. That doesn't exist. That urge is so strong, So this is not very high class consciousness. So I had made this whole chart here when I did my Bhakti Shastri. I did even more elaborate of that, which I'm not going to show to you. But I'm going to hand over these pages. Can someone help me? These handouts. He will give, you pass this side, you pass this side. No, let them do it. They will do it. So on this page, if you at all wish to make notes in my class and be carrying it home for yourself, this handout may be of some help to you. I have simplified this chart that is presented here, for your own, understanding. So essentially this chart talks about the mentality, the development of level of detachment from matter, specific distinguishing characteristics, and verse references in Bhagavad Gita. Where is this given? In Bhagavad Gita. So we had a very great teacher for our Bhakti Shastri. His name was Purnachandra Swami. Then he was Prabhu. And he really grilled us in our study of Bhagavad Gita. And when our Bhagavad Gita was tested as Bhakti Shastri certification program, the only one question that he had asked is this question. Tell us what are the levels of yoga practices Bhagavad Gita mentions. Thank you. The mentality, development of detachment, specific distinguishing characteristics, and Bhagavad Gita shloka references. If you can tell that without looking into Bhagavad Gita, then you have understood Bhagavad Gita. So that was our test. With Krishna's mercy, I scored 100 out of 100. And he personally commented that this presentation, in this format especially that I gave, was very appealing to him. So we have at the bottom of this level, the animal level of consciousness, sense gratification. I am the center of all enjoyment. Don't bother about God. Don't accept any authority other than your own mind. My mind is my boss. Practically no detachment, no knowledge of scriptures, no restriction in sense enjoyment, acting by instinct. So I was telling how modern human beings have sometimes gone even below this level. Animals are regulated in their sense gratification. They eat when they are hungry, sleep when they are tired, mate when there is proper season, according to nature's arrangement, and defend only when it comes upon their life. Not unnecessary defense, like video games. But modern human beings, they eat when they are not hungry, sleep when they are not tired, mate anytime and every time, and defend mentally, virtually, for no good reason. And sometimes they go for pleasure hunting, shooting, killing others. Who is better? Animals are better. It's interesting boy. So let's call them as Homo sapiens, and you can even put the Homo sapien as below the animal, in the yoga ladder if you wish to. And that's not to insult anyone, it is just to make us aware of the current state of affairs. Then, a little above this level is karma kanda. Accept scriptures as authority. If I do good, I will be rewarded. If I do bad, I will be punished. This mentality is very clear to them. That's their mentality. So that's why they take to some scripture, Bible, Quran, Gita, whatever. But through this kind of scriptural, so to say, philosophy that they gain in life, or scriptural help, they want to enhance their own sense gratification. They are not yet focused on God as such. They are still focused on enjoying their senses, but now they do it legally. Legally meaning, just like in India there is Sarkar Manya Deshi Daru Dukan, which means government sanctioned licensed liquor shops. Now what do you mean Sarkar Manya? Government authorized. Does government want everybody to drink? It means that there are going to be people who will drink if not given sanction, by making it out of gutter water. So better they enjoy in a restricted manner and save, the rest of the society, spare them. Similarly, those who are desperate for sense enjoyment, Vedas tell them, okay, do it this way. You want sex? Do it this way. You want money? Get it this way. You want prestige and fame? So there are departmental heads of various material necessities that we have. Indra, Chandra, Varuna, Vayu. There are 33 crore departments in the Brahmanda mall. And then there are, you understand the analogy? There's Brahmanda, the mall, the universe, which is like a mall. And then there are various salespersons who have opened their counter. You want education, Saraswati. You want, defense, you go to Kartikeya. You want wealth, you go to Kubera. You want this. So what do you want? What commodity? And accordingly, there are so many of them. Our condition is such that we are the son of such many, many malls owner. Krishna. Ananta Koti Brahmanda Mall Nayak. Instead of re-establishing our connection with Krishna and becoming a rightful heir to his kingdom, we are going to steal inside his own malls. Or begging this salesperson, give me sense enjoyment, give me sense enjoyment. For the little worship that I offer you. This is called karma kanda mentality. Dhanam dehi, janam dehi, rupavati bharya dehi, in Sanskrit. Dhanarthi vidyarthi labhate vidya, dhanarthi labhate dhanam, putrarthi labhate putra, moksharthi labhate gatim, japet ganapati stotram, shadbhir masai phalam labhet. 6 months you will get results. Samvatsarena siddhincha labhate natra samshayaha. If you worship Ganapati, you will get all these benefits. However, although we are laughing, we should respect these karma kandis for one good reason, is that unlike the animalistic level of consciousness, human animals, they have understood that the universe is governed and controlled by somebody else and not me. And instead of seeking my enjoyment in a, what do you call, controllership mentality manner, if I go to a higher authority and please them, I will get what I need. So better I become submissive. This they have figured out. Just like nowadays, who are the demigods in modern times? We may say, well, this 33 crore demigods, I don't see them. But our demigods in modern civilization are the Hollywood, Bollywood actors and actresses, the multi-millionaires who run multinational companies, in whose company we work under a boss, boss prasadat, company prasado. Yasya prasadat na gati kutopi. Or we have our cricket and, I don't know, here baseball maybe, and all kinds of champions. When we do any hero worship or heroine worship, we are doing demigod worship. Because we are demanding sense enjoyment from them. We think, I don't have it, they have it. And if I, watch their movie and read their book and get their, some favor, I will get it in my life. This is also a perverted demigod worship. Rather than doing it the original way, we are doing it in this way. Every time, somebody wears a Nike cap and for that he gets paid something like $1 billion just for wearing a cap during his golf playing. That's demigod worship. So in this way, it is not that, Vedic people perform karmakand, poor guys, we are all devotees. No, we are also doing the same business, even much more perverted manner sometimes. So we have to be careful. So what is the level of detachment at karmakand level? Detachment at least to do regulated sense enjoyment. That much detachment has come. Interesting, no? And they also have a sense of submission to another authority. I am not the boss, I am little das of someone to get my, things met. And then they are still self-centered. They have regulated sense enjoyment according to scriptures. They have knowledge of scriptures, but limited only to fruitive activities. But they start beginning following of dharma at a very lower level. And there are verses for that in the Gita. Here is one verse, very famous. Asatyam apratishtamte, Ishwaroham aham bhogi siddhoham balavan sukhi. Bhagavad tells in 16th chapter what is the mentality of a sense enjoyer, animal consciousness. He says, Asatyam, this world is unreal, apratishtam, has no foundational principle. Jagat ahur anishwaram, there is no God in control. And what is the purpose? Sex life. That's the only purpose of this universe, according to them. Ishwaroham, I am the controller. Aham bhogi, I am the enjoyer. Siddhoham, balavan sukhi, I am perfect, I am happy. So this is the mentality. 16.6, if I'm not wrong. You want to? Why don't you do some homeworks also? Yeah. It begins with 16.7 onwards. There are a lot of verses there, but this is the correct one, 16.8, which I'm quoting here. Anyways, so yamimam pushpitam vacham pravadanti avipaschitaha vedavadarataha partha na anyadasti iti vadinaha. Krishna is saying that those who are karmakandis, what is their mentality? Scriptures are telling about do this worship of devatas, demigods, get your sense gratification, go to heaven, enjoy long life, exhaust your good karma, come back into earthly planet, again perform karmakand, again please some devata, go to his planet, enjoy material life, come down again. More a abhilash, America deshe diyovas, Nayane heribo sada, whatever, Bollywood Rashi, Rupa Rashi. So people have their own, aspirations in life. So, good, regulated at least in sense enjoyment, but not that great yet. A little above this karmakand level is SKY, sky, that's Sakam Karma Yoga. Sakam Karma Yoga means, now Karma Yoga, as soon as you use that term, your action is now aimed at aspiring for realization of God. That is yoga part of it. So the yoga can mean Brahman realization, Paramatma realization, or Bhagavan realization. But anyone who is aspiring for such realization of God and is performing his action in that direction, even worldly action while performing, he is connecting it to God, such a person is called Karma Yogi. So there are two types of Karma Yogis, Sakam Karma Yogi and Nishkama Karma Yogi. There is Karma Yoga, action for the sake of self-realization, with still some desire to enjoy material life. And action aimed at self-realization, with no desire to enjoy material life, but to simply relish spiritual emancipation. So there is Sakam Karma Yoga and NKY, Nishkama Karma Yoga. There are two levels in the Karma Yoga platform. And this NKY, Nishkam Karma Yoga, is stressed throughout the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. That's what Krishna wants us to practice at our level. So what is the mentality? Without going into the details of this, I'll just give you a simple example which will make you understand. How do you know when I come to temple I am a Sakam Karma Yogi? So when we do some service for Krishna, just to not distract you, when we do some service for Krishna and we want to enjoy the fruit of our work, we are Sakam Karma Yogi. And when we do some service for Krishna and we don't want to enjoy the fruits of our work, we are Nishkam Karma Yogi. In the meantime, we are attached to the particular form of karma or service that we do. That's why we are a Karma Yogi, not a Bhakti Yogi. To give an example, someone comes to the temple and he sees the wonderful Sangha of devotees and he says, I think I should do something here for God. And he says, for your Sankirtan, you go for book distribution, I will make nice bags. I have a bag stitching company and I'll make nice bags and I'll gift them to you. Not gift exactly, I will give them to you, but outside I sell those bags for say $30. From you I will take $20. Not much profit. So he is good at karma of stitching bags. He likes to do that activity. He's not leaving that aside. He will do that only for Krishna. But now he will do it for Krishna and devotees. But he wants some little remuneration. Right? That's called Sakama Karma Yoga. Sometimes when people give donations, they want their plaque to be put somewhere or this and that. So we should not criticize them for it. But at the back of that, we should be aware that this is Sakam Karma Yoga. This can even come in the way of our book distribution scores. Sometimes we want our score being announced for the pleasure of deities and Guru is a wonderful thing. But we wanting to get, some prestige for the service that we have done. That is Sakam Karma Yoga. You're getting? And then comes Nishkam Karma Yoga. Now I'll give another example. There is someone who is exceptional, excellent at cooking. He comes to the temple, he says, oh, you are such nice people, I would like to cook for you. And he cooks a wonderful Sunday feast. Elaborate 15-course feast, nice. And he does not even eat it himself. Because he likes cooking, he cooks it nicely, offers it to the deity, and when everyone enjoys the prasadam, he may take a little, may not take a, he's not so keen on that. That is Nishkam Karma Yoga. But in the kitchen, after the cooking is over, there are lots of pots that are unclean, and someone requests him, Prabhu, further can you little bit wash the pots? He says, no, that you tell somebody else. Cooking I like, that I will do. Pot washing, tell somebody else. You are getting? So he's a Nishkam Karma Yogi. He's attached to his particular type of work and he wants to do it for God. He does not want any material remuneration from it, but he won't do any other work in service of God that he does not like. You are with me? So this is Nishkam Karma Yoga. So because we have limited time, I'm not going through my whole chart there, but we'll go ahead. From Karma Kanda, now we progressed here. From Karma Kanda level, when we go above, the acceptance of transcendental goal, one is in knowledge as a yoga practitioner that I am doing this for a higher cause. That is where the yoga begins. Or rather, the yoga ladder also begins. But I have put this previous Karma Kand, animal and Homo sapien in place just to give us a little more perspective on this whole yoga ladder, the levels of consciousness that exist. Are you with me? Are you fed up with me? No. Okay. Now begins, as soon as Karma Yoga or any form of yoga begins, there is purification of heart, operating system is getting cleansed, and there is freedom from the three modes. Gradually one is coming above Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna. And that's a nice thing about yoga. That's the purpose of yoga. Nistrai Gunyo Bhavarjuna. Become freed from these three modes. So in Sakama there is work plus fruits. In Nishkama there is work plus knowledge. No desire for enjoying fruits. The prominent thing is activity, however, not Krishna. I like this activity that I do. I like painting. I like cooking. And I also offer it to God. Then comes Jnana Yoga. This is a very peculiar stage. Here what happens, having lived by the principles of Nishkam Karma Yoga, which are described in chapter number 3 in the stage of practice, and in chapter number 5 in the stage of perfection. Nishkam Karma Yoga in practice, sadhak. Nishkam Karma Yoga in perfection, siddha. He's perfected it. How do they live? So that's chapter 3 and chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita. One elevates himself to a state where he gets to clearly see Aham Brahmasmi. I am not matter. I am spirit. Why am I indulging myself so much in matter? That is called the platform of Jnana. Jnana means analytical study of matter and spirit and distinguishing between them always. So that's Jnana. And when such pursuit of Jnana, knowledge, is connected to God, transcendence, it becomes Jnana Yoga. See, scientists are Jnanis. They are not Jnana Yogis necessarily. They are Jnanis because they are trying to analyze matter and try to understand what is the cause of all causes, what is the absolute truth. That's why all the theorizing is going on, hypothesizing, But they are not necessarily aiming at God. And that's why they remain stuck up in matter. Their consciousness also doesn't go beyond matter. Who is a scientist? Devotee of matter. Is called he's so devoted to studying matter. All these PhDs, if you see whichever field they are studying, what are they doing exactly? Instead of Krishna Manabhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji, they are doing matter Manabhava, Madhyaji, Mam Namaskuru, everything in relationship to matter. Sarva Dharman Parityajya, matter ekam sharanam vraja. So, they are ready to give up anything and everything in the world in pursuit of material knowledge. But that is not necessarily Jnana Yoga. It is Jnani, but not a Jnana Yogi. But there are, in Vedic culture especially, or in modern times very rarely you find people like that. Like we have this 7 habits, 8 habits, all that. These are typical people who are understanding that Jnana is more important than just action. That action has to be guided by knowledge, and that knowledge has to be beyond the 3 modes. What does proactive mean? Proactive basically means don't act based on your moods or modes, but act on the basis of your spirit level. Make your choices wisely. So this is a typical version of modern times Jnana Yoga practice. Then this Jnana Yoga goes further maturing into Ashtanga Yoga. In Ashtanga Yoga there is knowledge, there is detachment, there is now meditation on the supreme transcendence. But no work. The yogi goes to jungle, he leaves worldly life, gives up his varna and ashrama, occupational and social responsibilities, familial responsibilities, and he practices meditation, Ashtanga Yoga, Hatha Yoga, all that. And we know Bhagavad Gita describes this Ashtanga Yoga elaborately in chapter number 6. Right? So Ashtanga Yoga. So Ashtanga, eightfold practice. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So this is what the Ashtanga Yogis do. What does Jnana Yogi do? He studies scriptures, he remains secluded from society, and he meditates, and he actually contemplates on knowledge that he is gaining. He reconfigures and rearranges, again and again whatever he has heard and studied, and keeps sorting it out, in some matrix form. Maybe this fits here, that fits there. This is the whole mental work, intellectual work that he does, and he delights that. But he is sometimes still not a proper meditator like the Ashtanga Yogis are. So Ashtanga Yogis, when they go and start practicing the eightfold yoga system, they eventually come to this realization that absolute truth is not Brahman, but Paramatma. What is the difference between this Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagwan? I will give a simple analogy. Bill Gates manages Microsoft. When you enter into Microsoft company, Bill Gates is all pervading in the company through the laws, the policies, the vision, the mission, the activities that happen, being all governed by his thought process. Isn't it? So you can feel in the company the impersonal presence of Bill Gates when you enter into Microsoft. That's like Brahman realization of Bill Gates, when you are in the Microsoft company. Then when an employee is working on the terminal computer that he is given, at any given point of the time in the day, a direct conference call can happen with Bill Gates because he is the boss in the company and can directly guide the affairs of any person in the company. So anytime he can be simultaneously guiding many people. Right? Of course, he's not like God, so his capacity is limited. But I hope you get the analogy. So that's like a personal dealing with Bill Gates, but not yet on a love level, but it is more like an official level. And that is called Paramatma, realization of Bill Gates, if we can call it. However, this is not the real Bill Gates. Means he is, but not yet so full. So you go to Bill Gates' home, and there are his wife, kids, and there are his intimate associates, Antaranga Parshad. And there are a lot of things happening there, as love exchanges with each other. And when you become part of that family and exchange rasa directly, rasa loving reciprocations with Bill Gates, that is complete realization of Bill Gates. Bhagavan feature. It's okay? I think in San Jose this analogy works because everybody understands what I'm speaking. Everybody is a soft, takey guy. So you want which kind of relationship with God? You are working in universe.com, universe, unlimited universe that Krishna controls. So you want Brahman realization? God is impersonal, have it. There is some laws, there is some energy that is governing the world. Okay, fine, be satisfied with that. Or you want, like this meditators, Ashtanga yogis, on the screen of their heart, they see Paramatma, Dhyana vasthita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino. In the dhyana avastha, the yogi sees the form of Paramatma. Paramatma is standing on the lotus of the heart, 1 feet a little ahead of another, looking at the jiva, the atma, with unblinking eyes, expecting him to return or turn towards him. When we wait for somebody very desperately, that's the pose you generally give. You have seen that? And that is the form of Paramatma. He's called Animesha, one who does not blink his eyelids. Can you imagine someone watching us 24/7 with unblinking eyes? Are you scared of this information? And that's Paramatma. He's our most loving friend. Surudam Sarva Bhutanam. And he's waiting for us to turn towards him. Everything else will be taken care of. So some yogis come to this realization that this Paramatma is my master and I should serve him. They progress to Bhakti Yoga. But some yogis, Ashtanga yogis, they come to the understanding that I am he. Aham, Soham. They want to merge with that form of Paramatma and they become Brahmamadis. Make sense? And then comes our platform that we are supposed to be at, Bhakti Yoga. So there is Brahman realization of an Ashtanga yogi, or there is Paramatma realization of an Ashtanga yogi. And the example of Brahmavadis becoming devotees is 4 Kumaras, the sons of Brahma in Bhagavatam. They usually meet a devotee and become devotees. They're most ripe candidates for Bhakti Yoga. And even these people, if they understand that I am servant of the super soul, Paramatma, and if they meet a devotee of Krishna, they also become Bhakti Yogis. Now interestingly, in Ashtanga Yoga, we had dropped the work part of it. In Bhakti Yoga, it gets added back again. So all the elements of detachment of Nishkama, Karma, Yoga, the practice of work as in Karma Yoga, practice of knowledge as in Jnana Yoga, practice of meditation as in Dhyana Yoga, but now added with that all is loving service. That is Bhakti Yoga. In this way, Bhakti Yoga includes and surpasses the benefits of all other forms of yoga systems. Repeat, Bhakti Yoga includes and surpasses the benefits of all other yoga practices. Yes, Bhakti Yoga. So, this is called the yoga ladder. Now you may say, where am I, Prabhu? Right now. We may tend to think that I am at Bhakti Yoga level, but let's analyze that a little critically. And don't get disheartened when I say these things. The beginning of becoming sincere in Krishna consciousness is to really factually know who am I and where am I at. Throughout our day, our consciousness fluctuates through all these levels. At times we are like, in morning program like a Bhakti Yogi, we feel so nice, Prabhupada, Jai. Deities, Mangalarti, Japa. Sometimes Japa is not so. Okay, so and then as the day progresses, and battery becomes little down, we start thinking, I think my work is too important. This Krishna consciousness, what is it going to give me? It's all right. Krishna is there. So what? He's there. He's enjoying his life. I have my life here. I have to earn my bread and butter, And we kind of tend to separate the work that we do from our feeling for Krishna that we have, that this is Krishna's work that I am doing. The kind of separation between the work and the devotion happens. And then we get into this passionate mode of, proving our worth in the material world, to show to others that, I'm no less than you. And we sometimes do want to enjoy the fruits of our work. The paycheck that comes, a portion of that goes to the temple. A portion of that goes to maintaining our household. That's fine. Sometimes a portion of that goes in performing activities that are not very Krishna conscious. And at times, we see the materialistic people enjoying their life like dogs. And we feel, oh my God, I think I'm missing out on too much being a devotee. Just see these people, what is the problem with material world? That wise are doubtful and foolish are confident. Devotees who have knowledge of spirituality, they still sometimes doubt Krishna is still there or not. Fundamental doubts, not like small time doubts, something. And the materialistic people who are enjoying their life, they are dead confident about what they are doing. Sometimes looking at their confidence, our confidence is shaken up. So, maybe, what they are doing is right. Who has seen Krishna's spiritual world, all this, Like one person came to Prabhupada and he asked, Swamiji, you are living all this life of austerity, no meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. You are giving up so much of this worldly enjoyment and you are pursuing your path to Krishna. And what if at the time of your death you realize that there is no God? And when body dies, everything is finished. Then na ghar ka na ghat ka, as they say. You didn't enjoy your material life well in the pursuit of this goal. And there is no such a thing as Krishna, spiritual world or anything, and that also you lost. So better enjoy one thing at least proper, That's little rational, to do. So Prabhupada is Prabhupada. He likes this kind of challenges very much. Somebody asking such a question. Because he is not that wise person who is doubtful. He is dead confident. So Prabhupada replied, okay, for argument's sake, let us assume that we are this body, there is no God, and after death you become fertilizer. Even then, as a Krishna devotee, our standard of life and enjoyment is far better than that of materialists. The sounds that we hear, kirtan, the food that we taste, prasadam, the cultural arrangements that we have for our eyes, nose, fragrances and everything. The life that we live of regulation and good health, the contribution we try and make in loving service mood to each other, the quality of relationships that we have with our family members and amongst each other as devotees, everything, anything you compare is far better than what materialists enjoy. You agree? Yes. Yeah. Our quality of music, dance, poetry, mama manasa madhukaram arpaya. What a poetry, my God. It's not like Jack and Jill went up the hill, for what? To fetch a pail of water. Okay, fine. And then what happened further? Jack fell down. Glorious thing to happen. And Jill came tumbling out. This is not what we are headed for. So the point I'm trying to make is, of course, that is not to criticize English literature. It's just a point that where is the thought process? What is the level of your consciousness? What is the level of your standard of life? What are your enjoyments? And what is your contribution? That decides the quality of your life. So from objective perspective, whether Krishna exists or not, a devotee had a better material life than even the materialistic people. So, and then Prabhupada turned the cannon in the face. My question to you, sir, is that what if at the time of your death you realize that there is Krishna? That there is spiritual world, there is Yamadutas who come and they take you for a judgment. Won't that be too late to get to know all this stuff at that time? So in this way, heads I win, tails you lose. Huh? That's the kind of arrangement we have here. If Krishna exists, we already won, without talking anything about it. And if Krishna doesn't exist, it's tails. Still I win. So in any case, Krishna life is the option, for anyone. And this is called confidence in Krishna consciousness. So anyways, as I said, our consciousness goes through this whole level up and down throughout the day. It is so fluctuating. And let us discuss now in some time what are the applications of this yoga ladder in our life. What are we to do with it? Any questions so far before I change the topic? What time the class ends? 8? Okay.
Prabhuji, when one reaches Paramatma realization, what are his activities? What he does when he sees Paramatma?
So in the Ashtanga Yoga, first there is Yama, don'ts. Then there is Niyama, do's. That's what he does. Then further asana, yogasanas, the mechanical postures that lead to cleansing of your systems. Physical, mental, and even consciousness purification. Then comes pranayama, pratyahara. Pratyahara means shutting off the senses from external stimuli of the world and trying to focus our consciousness inwards. They keep calling it mindfulness, so whatever. So then that's pratyahara. Then dharana, meditating on whatever they have understood as absolute truth for a long duration of time. Dhyana, increasing that duration even more. And then samadhi, experiencing absorption in thoughts of Paramatma. It is like an experience of Shantyaras, where God reveals His spiritual form to you as Paramatma, and simply looking at the Rupa of the Lord, you are delighting in life. You don't need action. It's Shantyaras, neutral. You are so amazed. It's like awe and reverence, seeing the beautiful form of Paramatma in the heart. Sashankha chakram, sakirita kundalam, sapita vastram, sarasiruhe kshanam, sahara vakshasthala shobhi kaustubham, namami vishnum shirasa chaturbhujam, meghashyamam pita kausheya vasam, shrivatsankam kaustubhodbhasitangam, punyopetam pundarikayataksham, Vishnum Vande Sarvalokaikanaatham. So this is a description of Paramatma given in Vishnu Sahasranama, which is favorite of Bhishma Deva to meditate upon. So this is what they do. This is what they delight in. For them this is good enough. I got to see God, that's good enough. It's like sometimes, people see Michael Jackson and they cut their nerves and so God knows what they're getting out of that, but it is rightly placed. That affection is rightly placed. Now I got to see God. It's a glorious thing to happen. And that's just the meditation on the Rupa of the Paramatma. That's what the highest elevated yogis actually get at. Shantyaras. And are happy about it. They don't want to further reciprocate with the Lord through service. They say, itna hi kafi hai. That's good enough. Make sense? Yes. Given mic. This boy is really nice. He has heard the class with rapt attention and relished, some of the information.
What did a person who asked Prabhupada say when Prabhupada asked this question?
He was flattened. I don't know his reaction because that is not mentioned when I read this pastime. But I guess he accepted Krishna and path of Krishna consciousness, being convinced by the Vani of Srila Prabhupada. Any other? Yes.
So for karmakanda people or people who believe in scriptures but are still in the sense enjoyment mode, what kind of preaching can we do? And that person could...
Okay, we are just about to venture into that track, application of Yoga Ladder. You have any questions about this concept itself? We'll see the application soon. Yes. Give behind, Harivansh, go.
Thank you, Prabhu, for wonderful class. I just wanted to ask that in this whole yoga ladder, can we have short circuits with mercy? Is it possible?
So there is something called as the ladder, and then there is something called as the lift. This is the mercy of a pure devotee who comes in our life. That doesn't matter which level of consciousness we were situated at. when the mercy of a pure devotee comes and he wishes that may this person become a devotee of Krishna, then we surpass lifetimes of trouble to go through this whole process of step-by-step evolution of consciousness. And we just go from Homo sapien to a pure devotee, Bhakti Yogi. That is the power of the Ichha Shakti of a Vaishnava. Prabhupada desired, let these people become Krishna conscious, and that's why we are Krishna conscious. So, of course, we should also put our efforts from our side. But the point is, there is a way to, so to say, short circuit, as you call the word. Surpass all the stages in between. So when we come to ISKCON, iske jaisa kaun, and we get to practice this Krishna consciousness under the able guidance of our Shiksha Diksha Gurus, and we really take to this operating system reconfiguration business very seriously, then within a very short period of time, we will actually surpass these lower stages of consciousness and situate ourselves in the mood of a Golokian. It requires training, association, proper culture building, mastery under a master, and especially push that we give to ourselves using our willpower. Yes.
What does Ashtanga mean?
Ashtanga means eightfold system of yoga. Ashta means 8, Anga means limbs. So this yoga system has got 8 limbs or 8 stages of practice. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, all that. So it's called Ashtanga Yoga. Give her mic.
Even if we are practicing Bhakti Yoga, but we realize that most of the time our consciousness is one of the lower levels. So where is the problem? I mean, what is that we are doing wrong?
My understanding, we usually fumble at 2 levels. We are not attentive in practice, like japa, deity worship, study of scriptures, services with service attitude, not just service. So we are not attentive to monitoring and engaging our consciousness rightly. We are a little wishy-washy about it. Another is, we don't follow the process properly. We don't have proper knowledge of what exactly are the procedures or the moods, and we don't adopt them. Because we all do book distribution, and Vaisheshika Prabhu does book distribution. There is a difference in the way the whole, consciousness is, in approaching the persons on the street and what you project to them. Actually, when we speak to others, we are not giving them our words, we are actually giving them our consciousness. Words are just a media. So how much elevated we are, that much only that person actually gets benefit. That's real preaching. So these subtleties are not known to us yet, how it happens. So that's one part of the story. There are 3 typical problems. We have laziness, enjoying mentality, and pride. When we are in Tamoguna, we are lazy. We are in Rajoguna, we want to enjoy the situation rather than serve. Even in devotional service. Sharira Vidyajal, I'm gonna eat it all. So, in Prasadam also, we have no service mood. And the third is, when we are in Sattva Guna and life is going very fine, we are proud. There is no devotee like me. And these are the essential obstacles to our Bhakti Yoga. There could be many, but these are like So at times we keep postponing our japa, and so that's laziness. And other times we are distracted, fiddling with gadgets and watching, mundane some news. Distracted, not focused. Gauri. Then we have what? Pride, the typical problem. इसके जैसा कौन, that's one part. मेरे जैसा कौन, that's another part. Would nobody like me here? So how to set this right? If you ask me a question, I am kind of taking a chance at it that you may ask that question. My personal understanding of this are 3 things to be done. Mastery under a master. We have to be self-accessible and accountable to an expert teacher or a coach who guides the affairs in our Krishna consciousness. Adav Guru Padashrayah Saddharma Pruchha Vishrambhena Guru Seva Sadhu Vartmanuvartanam. These are the 4 essential stages Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu mentions. Of the 64 items of Bhakti Yoga, these are 4 foundational things. Adav Guru Padashrayah, taking shelter of a bona fide teacher. Saddharma Pruchha, making relevant inquiries. Vishrambhena Guru Seva, rendering service to Guru with respect and intimacy. That's called Vishrambha. And Sadhu Vartmanu Vartanam, following in the footsteps of other great acharyas and devotees who are good examples in our community, trying to emulate the way they do things. So this is 4 essential items in mastery under a master. The second important thing is create conducive environment, culture, facilities, habits, lifestyles for pursuing Krishna consciousness. And thirdly, give yourself incremental push to become better. Our competition is with nobody in this world. Our competition is with our own previous performance. If yesterday I did like this, my japa, today I will do better. If yesterday I did book distribution like this, I will do now better. So we want to outperform ourselves to achieve excellence in Bhakti Yoga. Even Srimati Radharani thinks that I am not a competent devotee of Krishna. How can I become better? Who are we to think I have accomplished everything in life? So that is the mood. So part of mastery under a master is also getting regular feedback on our practice. Feedback is the breakfast of the champions. They say in material world. Champions, what do they eat for breakfast? Feedback. And when you get some feedback, what should be your attitude? A simple attitude, so what? Now what? So what means don't allow it to discourage you. Take the good thing out of it. And now what means, what am I going to do about this? So these are the 3 essential things I have figured out. Mastery under a master, conducive learning environment and habits. And push. Incremental push. And where did I get it from? Nectar of Instruction, text number 8. Tannama rupa charitadi sukirtananu sprutyokramena rasana manasi niyojya tishtan vraje tadanuragi jananugami kalam nayedakhilamithyupadesha saram. Rupa Goswami is saying, what is Upadesha Saram? Essence of all advice. Oh, we already got into application. Good. The essence of all advice is this. Number 1, Tad Anuragi Jana Anugami, mastery under a master. One who has developed Anuraga for Krishna, you become his apprentice and learn from him. And what do you do? Tishthan Vraje. Create Vrindavana-like environment around you, whether it is in your homes, temples, or even office. And always stay in a conducive learning environment. Tishthan Vraje. Doesn't mean necessarily go to Vrindavan. You can create Vrindavana wherever you are. And give yourself incremental push. Tan nama rupa charita adi sukirtananu. Acha khasa karo usko. Better and better. Smrutyo kramena rasana manasi niyojya. Engage your tongue and mind in really doing it well. And this is how Rupa Goswami gives Upadesha Saram, essence of all advice to all the sadhakas. Okay? Any other? So we go ahead in next 20 minutes maybe in application of Yoga Ladder. Then again I will leave 10 minutes for question answers. So, Hare Krishna. As if we are beginning the class new, huh? Because sometimes mind becomes little, like that. So you have to shake it up. So, okay, ready? Now, how do we apply this Yoga Ladder in our life? The first and foremost thing is to use it for monitoring our consciousness. As I told, a good sadhaka is a champion of consciousness. He has mastered his own consciousness. So what he does is, he observes. That's called mindfulness in modern times. People say, you observe your thoughts, feelings and actions. Where are they going? So, which is that verse in Bhagavad Gita that says, whenever your mind wanders, you bring it back under the control of the self. Yato yato nischalati manaha chanchalam asthiram tatas niyamyetad atmani eva vasham nayet. Whenever and wherever your mind wanders, grab it and bring it back under the control of the higher self. So this is the first application of Yoga Ladder. So we drift, no doubt about it. Let's not haggle with that point. Why do I drift? No, assume that you will always drift. So you will go distracted. So what do? Just like a loving mother. There is a baby in the room. There is a nice toys given to the baby to play. And mother is cooking, hoping that, baby will be peaceful and silent, And the baby typically goes and puts his hand in some rotating fan, goes and touches the fire, of the candle or something, wanting to see what that is. And the mother has to be constantly on guard, like, And every time he goes distracted like that, what does the mother do? वो चड्डी पकड़ के hold his चड्डी, bring him back. See, here are your things to play. Do this. Exactly like that we have to deal with our mind. Mind goes here, there, everywhere. You bring him back. Say, Prabhu, bhajahu re mana, Shri Nanda Nandana, Abhaya Charana. This is what we are supposed to be doing here. So we pull him back and tell him, focus here. These are your toys to play. Nama Rupa Guna Lila of Krishna, service to Krishna, current things that are happening here in whatever I am doing. Be cooperative. I need your collaboration to make my perfection of life possible. So that's the first thing. To monitor our consciousness and to realign it with Krishna consciousness. The second application of this Yoga Ladder is to become compassionate to people who are situated at different levels of this Yoga Ladder. When we preach or when we interact with our office colleagues or relatives, in-laws, outlaws, so we come across, people having varied consciousness. They are not in the best shape of their consciousness. Their operating system needs some reconfiguration. So we should not get exasperated with them, but learn to put up with them. No matter how difficult they are. Sometimes they may be even our own family members. And at times when they are going through their low in consciousness, instead of giving up on them or quarreling and haggling and becoming tyrant, to set them right, we should rather become thoughtful. What can be the arrangement here by which this person can be elevated a little better in his consciousness? X plus delta X, not too much. Just like Narad Muni met Mrugari. What was Mrugari's level of consciousness? half killing animals and enjoying that sight. What did Narad Muni tell him? Why don't you kill them full? He didn't tell him chant Hare Krishna. He told him, why don't you kill them full? Why? Because if you, at least that bad karma in between that you are generating will be spared for you. And Mrugari thought he speaks my language, of killing. And then he asked him, but sir, there is more fun in seeing them suffer than to just kill them quick. Then Narad Muni said, do you know the consequence of this action that you are doing? He said, no. What consequences? So Narad Muni immediately showed him a PowerPoint show, in the sky, like we are doing here. But Narad Muni doesn't need all these arrangements. So he showed him what are the hellish conditions of life. If you kill animals or eat meat or whatever, what happens to you in future lives? Oh my God, Mrugari was scared to death. He said, oh, this is what is going to happen to me? I think I better give this up. But I don't think I can give this up because this is my livelihood. And Narad Muni told him, break your bow. And that was a test of his faith. He did it. Narad Muni said, your food, clothing, shelter, basic necessities will walk your way. Don't worry about it. Chant Hare Krishna with your wife, practice Bhakti Yoga, situate yourself in the business of operating system reconfiguration. And Mrugari did it. And Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Satatam Kirtayanto Mam Yatantascha Drudhavrataha. If you do it, Ananyena iva yogena mam dhyayanta upasate. What beautiful verses. So this is how we should preach to people. Rather preach, I would use the word facilitate their consciousness development. Narad Muni met Karmakandi. Who was that? Bhagavatam? Prachina Barhishat. What did he preach to him? So I am giving an expert preacher, Narad Muni, as an example for all these levels of yoga ladder, just so that you connect to what's happening in Bhagavatam. What kind of books we have, So Narad Muni preached to whom? What did he tell him? Prachina Barhishat? Another PowerPoint show. To him also. He told him, you are doing this karma kand, you think it is legal? Here are the consequences. Oh, he got another shock of his life. He said, what should I do now? And then he improved his condition. Then Narad Muni meets, the Dhruva who wants to be Sakam Karma Yogi, I want to go to God and get material enjoyment. You can help me, otherwise get lost. That's the kind of fixed mood, he has. Narad Muni says, okay, no problem. He gives him triple booster system. Ashtanga Yoga coupled with deity worship, coupled with chanting of holy names. It's like a thrust engine, triple thrust engine to launch your consciousness into transcendence. Powerful system. And Dhruva is really determined. He does all three. Can you imagine? Ashtanga Yoga also, deity worship also, and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, he chants, his mantra. And Dhruva attains perfection. So in this way, I will not go in more detail now, but you can do this as a homework. Where are the examples of devotee preachers giving Krishna consciousness to Nishkam Karma Yogi, Jnana Yogi, Ashtanga Yogis, etc. and mixed up devotees? That's also another category to deal with. Make sense? Third application of Yoga Ladder is every morning when we wake up, I recite my personal thing. I recite this shloka from Bhagavad Gita. Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya gamina paramam purusham divyam yati partha anuchintayan. This is 8th chapter, Bhagavad Gita. Abhyasa yoga yuktena. That's how I begin my day. Today is one more day given to me by Krishna for engaging in Abhyasa yoga. I want to do Abhyasa of this Bhakti yoga. Chetasa na anyagamina. I won't allow my consciousness to wander here and there. And what is the goal of this yoga? Paramam purusham divyam yati partha anuchintayan. By the cultivation of habit of constant remembrance of God, I want to approach the Supreme Lord at the time of my death. Life is preparation, death is examination. Abhi sabka PL chal raha hai. Preparation leave going on. And those who study well, they fare well in the exam. And those who don't do that study, abhyasa, properly, they plunk. They get into some different species of life, than going back to spiritual world. So, essentially we have to cultivate the lifestyle and the culture of being a Golokian. The mood of being a Golokian. In India, if somebody wants to go to America, they consider that as the perfection of human existence. So they typically cultivate the everything, the food habits, the language, and they imitate, very cheaply sometimes. Or they, hey man, you deal with them, you say, what? Artificial dealings, Or sometimes they have this, Bermuda they wear, and red dye in the hair, and some earring, in one ear. So they are literally cultivating the Rupa Guna Leela of Americans. Why? Because they want to go to America. So if you want to go Loka, not America, you have to cultivate the Rupa Guna Leela activities of Golokians. We have to harbor the mood and the activities the way Vrajavasis have. And this practice is crucial for Bhakti Yogis. And this is where Srila Prabhupada has given us our daily morning program. At least for a dedicated portion of the day, we just do that. Nothing else. Maybe throughout the day we may not be so conscious. But the first thing in the morning, Samsara Dava Nalalidha Loka, from there onwards, all the whole program that we have, Japa, praying to Tulsi Maharani, praying to Radha Krishna, Guru Puja, Bhagavatam class. We should really dedicate ourselves to having our own morning program on a daily basis. Morning program is not an optional subject in ISKCON. Sometimes out of convenience sake, some devotees make it like, okay, 16 rounds I have done, so that's good enough. Or some people think those poor brahmacharis, they joined the temple, abhi phas gaye wo log, we are grahasthas, we have independence, We can do morning program, not do morning program, nobody questions, But when Prabhupada originally established this system, it was for everybody. It was not just for devotees. Brahmacharis, monks staying in the temple. But now people have, conveniently taken a kind of a detour, So we have to practice intensely this one part of our day very nicely. And we can do it if where there is will, Krishna shows the way. So we have to ensure that we keep as the focus, the first priority of our day, our morning program. Everything else in the daytime runs around that. We sleep on time so that we can wake up fresh. Early, we should sleep. On time, sometimes people say 11 o'clock. Every day on time I sleep. No. So in this way, we have to, everything around this main focus. How can I have a quality morning program? And it includes everything. At home, if not in temple, that's fine. And if you can't do it in the morning, do it some time of the day. You can even do the morning program while driving your car, going to your company. I'm giving concessions. This is not the real, but do somewhere, that's the point. Like that. So in this way, we have a bread jam system of sandwich. Morning for Krishna, daytime for occupational varnashrama duties, evening again for Krishna in some study of Bhagavad Gita, singing of Shayanarthi, Vaishnava songs, and then we rest. So we have to spiritualize. We have to practice Abhyasa Yoga and make that as our daily routine habits. Fourth thing in terms of the application of this yoga ladder is that we have to ensure that this preaching that I talked about to the people having different levels and how we relate to them, we have to be conscious in dealing with them. At the same time, we have to get this insight, what kind of do's and don'ts can we prescribe to people so that they go a little closer to Krishna in their dealings? Like somebody comes for the first time, one person came, he said, Prabhu, I can't chant one round. So one devotee said, can you chant one bead? One bead means just one Hare Krishna mantra a day. He said, yes, no problem. That devotee is now a 16 rounder. That's where he began. He started with one bead. So devotees are really compassionate. They go to the level where the person is and elevate further. So as we should all become good teachers in Krishna consciousness and learn how to offer do's and don'ts of Krishna consciousness that people can adopt in their life. Sometimes there may be some people who come to ISKCON and they say, well, I can't practice whole of it. I can chant 4 rounds throughout my life and maybe practice 2.5 regulative principles. Not 4. You understand 2.5? Which means in no intoxication, I take still tea and coffee, Other things maybe not. And illicit sex I can't avoid. Something like that. So what do you do with them? Are they members of ISKCON? Not members of ISKCON. If someone says that, what do you say? I repeat my question. I think you are still thinking about it. So someone says to you, I can chant only 3 rounds, 2 rounds per day for my life, not 16. And I can practice 2.5 regulative principles. It might be that your own kids may say that to you. Are they ISKCON devotees or not? Sure. Why? Now you got the point. They have adopted the operating system configuration program at their level. So you be happy about it. Sometimes we actually turn many people away from Krishna consciousness because we don't have that broad-mindedness ourselves. You want to see how broad-minded Krishna is? Please study Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, text 8, 9, 10, 11. You know that whole series, right? He says, devotee. Not possible. Okay, be a sadhaka. Not possible. Okay, be a nishkam karma yogi. Not possible. Okay, do some good work. Even if you don't give the credits or the fruits of that work to me, no problem. Employ your energies in good way. What a concession to give somebody. So if Krishna is so benevolent, Prabhupada is so open. One time Prabhupada went for one, this is in LA. LA? No, San Francisco, close by here, this past time. The hippies were celebrating the discovery, now don't take this pastime wrongly, that if you inhale the smoke of a banana peel, you get intoxicated. So they were celebrating that, and there was a party, and some disciples of Prabhupada in those days who were hippies or came from told Swamiji, can we go to this party? They have invited us for chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada said, any preaching place is okay, no problem. So they all went there. There was Allen Ginsberg and all the whole hip crowd. And people were dressed up like banana peels, coming out of their body, and a white portion here, on top. So it was a real, there was a real thing they were into. And they gave Prabhupada the chance to sing Kirtan. Prabhupada did 1.5 hour Kirtan. And the disciples were thinking, the way Prabhupada was singing with great prayerful intensity, on his temples you could see the nerves coming up in his throat. He was singing Hare Krishna. And those who were earlier dazed and intoxicated, they all stood up and they were dancing in great happiness. 1 hour Kirtan Prabhupada did, and devotees were thinking, now Swamiji should stop, something will happen to his health, if he does this. And he just continued. And at the end of that program, all those hippies were so happy for the mantra rock, or whatever they considered that to be, that they came to the disciples of Prabhupada and said, we want to gift you something. Here is a crate of bananas, and we want to offer these bananas to you on one condition. Give the peels back. So the disciples went to Prabhupada and asked, is that allowed? Can this be taken in service of Krishna? Prabhupada says, why not? They are offering bananas to Krishna, you give the bananas to Krishna. And you give the peels back to them. This is called broad-mindedness. Now, this pastime is not told to tell you to experiment anything in life or to take anything wrong out of it. I'm putting disclaimers right away. The purpose is to understand the mood of a pure devotee. How much a pure devotee is compassionate and willing to put up with the horrible levels of consciousness people may have. You are being naughty, you need attention. We all love you very much. We all love you very much. So, where are we? Can you put up and can you give do's and don'ts to people that they can follow? And will you remain just be satisfied a little with them that they did their best to surrender? Even if they're your own kids and not, But again, another disclaimer. This is not to say that any of you will say that, okay, I got a clue. I think I am also meant for that 4 rounds a day for the life and 2.5 regulative principle. Nah, that you cannot say because you have already proved your credentials of following 16 rounds and the 4 regulative principles. You have the potential to do it. So you don't justify what I said for your personal application. Okay? Okay. And finally, this yoga ladder can also be seen in the light of Mama Vartma Anuvartante Manushya Partha Sarvashaha. Everyone follows my path in some respect or other. Does that mean that any path goes to God? Because we are saying Yatomat Tatopath is not a right philosophy. When Krishna says Mama Vartma Anuvartante Manushyaha Partha Sarvashaha, all human beings are following my path in all respects. What does that mean? Is that not Yatomat Tatopath? No, it is not Yatomat Tatopath. What is happening here is when you understand this yoga ladder, you understand one thing. That any soul that is on this yoga ladder, he has situated himself at a comfortable level of consciousness based on his material desires. And he is either going towards Krishna or away from Krishna. So he is on the same path, Krishna given path. There is no another path. But he has a choice, whether to elevate the consciousness or degrade it. Making sense? So when all people follow my path in all respects, when Krishna is saying that, this is the meaning of it. So in our dealings with them, instead of sending them away from Krishna, we have to pull them towards Krishna. So we end there. Any comments or questions? Yes? Give him mic. Switch on.
Hi. So my question is, just now you're talking about how the different paths that lead to Krishna. So I just wanted to clarify. So you were saying that basically all paths lead to Krishna, or I don't know, just elaborate a little more.
I'll clarify.
Yeah.
When we are practicing animalistic level of consciousness, we are doing our eating, sleeping, mating, defending. What exactly is happening is that Krishna's all attractive potency is manifested in the world of matter in a perverted form to which we are attracted. In that sense, we are indirectly attracted to Krishna, even while enjoying material sense gratification. I repeat, you are getting what I am saying? Okay, I'll give an example. I gave this example last time when I came here. There was a bunch of devotees who came to receive Srila Prabhupada on the airport. There were nice kirtan and everything. And there was one of the friends of the devotees who was a hippie and came to see the guru of the Hare Krishna movement. So when Prabhupada got out of the airplane, before him came out a beautiful air hostess. She was so gorgeous that this boy, he got stuck up to her beauty. And he was looking at her, like that, till she disappeared. And when he turned around, he saw Prabhupada next to him and watching at him. And Prabhupada is no less as a teacher. Beautiful, isn't she? Now he didn't know whether to say yes or no to this question. You can't lie to a pure devotee. So, and he was kind of cringe. And Prabhupada says, if the spark is so beautiful, how much the complete whole must be beautiful from where it comes. If you are so madly attracted to this, how madly attracted you should be to Krishna, the source of all these beauties. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate. Krishna says, why not get attracted to the original source of all beauty, original source of all knowledge, original source of all, strength and wisdom and everything. So, when Krishna says mama vartante, that is also another meaning that they are all attracted to me but indirectly. It's like somebody takes a kaleidoscope. You have seen kaleidoscope? You get, they make permutation combinations by moving it around and get attracted to the glittering, broken glass pieces inside which are colored. But they are actually attractive because the ray of sun entering inside it and making it illuminated. So original intelligence would be to get attracted to the sun from where the light is coming and pervertedly attracting us through the glitter of material energy. So that is at the level of animal life, I am saying. How one is following path of Krishna but not conscious of it. Like this I can give example for each level. When somebody is doing karma kand, he is attracted to a particular devata. Somebody is attracted to Ganpati, Durga, somebody. He is indirectly attracted to Krishna's powers through them. And this is why best is to get directly attracted to Krishna, not indirectly attracted to. When we taste gulab jamun, matter, even unoffered gulab jamun, what are we actually relishing? We are relishing Krishna, his attractive potency coming in a minuscule manner in a perverted form. So, Krishna says in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, if you read, he gives many clues. How I am the origin of everything, how I am the essence of everything, and how I am essence, origin, and one more thing. How I am the best of everything. Chapter will give you a clue of how we can see Krishna everywhere. Rasoham apsu kaunteya, I am the essence of taste of water. Prabhasmi shashi surya yoho. Or Krishna is saying, naranam cha naradhipam. Airavatam gajendranam. So he is telling about, I am the best elephant amongst elephants is Airavata. I am he. Amongst Pandavas, I am Arjuna. Amongst Daityas, I am Prahlada. The best amongst everything. So I am essence of everything, best and origin of everything. That also Krishna speaks about. So even the world of matter, when we are interacting with, how we can perceive Krishna there is very nicely taught in this 7th and 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 9th and 10th, 7th and 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. That is called Vibhuti Yoga. Vibhuti Yoga means perceiving Krishna wherever you get to see some excellence in this world of any kind. So that is the meaning of mama vartma anuvartante. People are always following my path. So when we are getting attracted to something, hankering after something, we are to Krishna only. Any other? Yes? So this will be the last question of the day and then we end.
Thank you, Prabhu Hare Krishna, pointing out the beauty of encouragement, encouraging others. So I also feel the same, like when I am in lower level of my consciousness, then when a little bit of encouragement or encouraging words actually help to progress further.
So I just recalled a story that I heard from one of the brahmachari, that one of his friend got away from Krishna consciousness. He was doing excellent service at some point, but after that he left Krishna consciousness. And when he faced difficult situations, he got back to the brahmachari and he started sharing, with him what difficulties he's facing. And that brahmachari, was encouraging him this way or that way, little by little, and later he came back to Krishna consciousness. So encouragement is very necessary. Thanks for pointing it out.
Thank you. It's a comment.